Darkness is not the enemy. It's the place where truth steps out and cuts you into someone new. Today, we talk about a name that never belonged to the crowd. A man who didn't chase fame, he chased mastery. His name is Miyamoto Musashi, a samurai and also a Ronin. No lord, no shelter, no one behind him, just a blade. And one path, the way of the warrior. Musashi lived in an era where Japan was drenched in conflict, where a human life could vanish like a falling leaf. He entered battle young. He survived by the sword. He learned through blood. He walked through duels where a single slow breath could decide who dies. But Musashi wasn't dangerous only because he could cut. He was dangerous because he could think. He studied people the way a warrior studies a battlefield. He understood how customary beliefs can kill a life, how blind obedience turns a living man into a ghost. And he knew this. The strongest warrior isn't the one who defeats others. It's the one who defeats himself. Near the end of his life, with the body worn down and death standing close like an old acquaintance, Musashi wrote his final words, not as poetry, not for applause, but as a blade meant for anyone brave enough to hold it. He called it Dokkodo, the way of walking alone. 21 principles, 21 cuts, and no comfort, no lullaby, only exposure. Inside it, you'll find stoicism, minimalism, acceptance, and acceptance of death. You'll find shadow work, facing darkness, solitude, and the truths you keep avoiding. You'll find flow state, complete commitment, mastery forged into instinct. And you'll hear the cold echo of Machiavellianism, ruthless cutting, strategic thinking, no illusions. This video covers the first 7 principles. 7 steps to cut weakness. 7 strikes to reclaim your agency. So now don't beg life to go easy. Look straight into it. Principle 1, accept everything just the way it is. Fighting reality is stabbing yourself. Acceptance is not surrender. It's strategic clarity. In Stoicism, acceptance gives you back agency. The moment you stop arguing with reality, you regain the right to act. Life doesn't ask permission, cuts while you're dreaming, takes what you love while you're busy protecting your ego. Here's the brutal truth. Reality doesn't need your approval. Musashi lived as a Ronin, alone, cold, sharp, walking through mud, blood, and battlefields. He understood, the one who rejects truth dies of illusion. So what did you lose? A relationship? A job? Your status? Your comfort? Look at it. Say it. It is what it is. Then ask the only question that matters. What's the next move? That's the way of the warrior today. No excuses. No noise. Just action. Want a real example? Think of sudden rain. You're standing there, soaked, cold, irritated. You can curse the sky. You can blame the world. But the rain still falls, and you're still wet. That's how life moves. You lose an opportunity because someone changed. You get misunderstood because people only see one angle. You get betrayed because you trusted the wrong place. You can scream, but what happened still happened. Stoicism doesn't ask you to be numb. It asks you to stop burning your life on what you cannot change. Save that fire for what you still control. The next move. On a battlefield, a samurai doesn't argue with the wind. He changes his stance. He changes his breathing. He protects his agency inside chaos. Principle 2, do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Pleasure is honey, until it breeds rot in your will. Pleasure isn't evil, but living to stay numb is. Another scroll, another drink, another purchase. Not because you need it, because you're escaping emptiness. That's the trap. It trains you to crave sugar, then you can't stomach discipline. Minimalism in Stoicism isn't poverty. It's freedom from small addictions. Want flow state? You need complete commitment. Cheap pleasure breaks that commitment. It drags you out of depth and throws you back to the surface. On a battlefield, a samurai doesn't ask, "Do I feel like it?" He asks, "Is this the right move?" Today, cut one addiction. No negotiation. It will hurt. Good. That pain is your willpower coming back to life. like a wound sealing shut in cold steel air. There's a deadly addiction nobody talks about, the addiction to easy. One click is dopamine. One scroll is forgetting pain. One more purchase is self-comfort. But do you know the price? You start fearing slow things, training, silence, doing one thing until it's finished. Flow state doesn't live in noise. Flow state lives in repetition until you disappear inside the work. Example, people want a strong body but refuse discomfort. They want fluent English but refuse sounding stupid. They want money but refuse skill building. They want the result while fearing the process. So they die inside comfort. Minimalism is a slap. It says, cut more so you can become stronger. Complete commitment begins when you refuse the sweet to feed the great. Principle 3, do not depend on a partial feeling. Emotion is a blade. Hold it wrong and you bleed. Emotion isn't the enemy, but emotion is blind. A partial feeling is when you see one angle and call it the whole truth. You're angry, so you assume you're right. You're excited, so you think you're invincible. That's how people die. Not from lack of strength, lack of clarity. Musashi is cold steel here. Machiavellianism undertones aren't evil. They're ruthless cutting. Cut illusions, cut self-deception, cut impulsive decisions. If you want mastery, if you want flow state, your mind must stay clean. When you're furious, don't decide. When you're afraid, don't sign. When you're high, don't promise. You don't need to suppress emotion. You need to place it correctly. Data, not commands. That's the way of the warrior. Hot heart, steady blade. Have you ever sent a message while angry? Just one sentence, and suddenly one relationship is gone. Have you ever decided while afraid, and later realized you abandoned your own chance? A partial feeling is when emotion gives you a fragment of truth, and you mistake it for the whole world. Anger says, they're evil. Fear says, I'm not enough. Euphoria says, I can't lose. Musashi treats emotion like fog. Fog isn't wrong, but it hides the road. A warrior doesn't chase fog. He holds still for a few breaths until it clears. This is the Machiavellianism undertone used correctly. Ruthless cutting isn't cutting people, it's cutting illusions. Cut the impulsive ego. Cut the decision that needs to happen right now. Because sometimes, 10 seconds of delay saves a lifetime. Principle 4, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Ego is a net. The more you fight, the tighter it holds. You suffer because you think everything is about you. A look, comment, an unfollow, and your ego screams like it's been cut. Musashi says, think lightly of yourself, not self-hatred. Escape the prison called me. This is shadow work, facing the darkness. The part that craves approval, fears abandonment, needs victory to hide insecurity. When you think deeply of the world, you realize everyone is bleeding in an invisible war. You judge less, you react less, you stop believing you're the center. And paradoxically, when the ego shrinks, power grows, because your energy stops burning in drama and starts building mastery. A Ronin doesn't need an audience, only the path. Ego whispers, they're targeting you, but most of the time, nobody cares. People are busy surviving, busy making money, busy bleeding quietly, and you are busy imagining their judgment. Shadow work is the moment you admit, yes, I fear being looked down on. Yes, I crave approval. Yes, I want to win to hide insecurity. It hurts, but it's real. When you think deeply of the world, you see it. Everyone is fighting something. Poverty, family, their own mind. And you become less arrogant, less reactive, less addicted to drama. Musashi didn't need an audience because he didn't live for applause. He lived for the path. That's the way of the warrior when ego is unchained. Principle 5, be detached from desire. What you need too much owns you. Desire whispers, but it pulls strings like a master. You say, I need love. I need money. I need validation. No, you want. Wanting is human. Dependence is death. Stoicism teaches detachment. not numbness, freedom from being led like an animal on a leash. Minimalism isn't just fewer things, it's fewer demands. The more you demand, the more life can choke you. Musashi chose solitude because he understood strength is moving forward after loss. Love leaves, you still live. Money falls, you still stand. Status dies, you still train. That's agency in its purest form. And when desire stops controlling you, flow state becomes easier because your mind is no longer yanked by lack. See desire like a debt collector. It doesn't knock once. It knocks every day. And if you don't pay, it takes something else: time, health, dignity. You say, I need love. Then you tolerate disrespect to keep someone who doesn't value you. You say, I need money. Then you sell your principles. You say, I need validation. Then you live by customary beliefs, terrified to be different, a modern form of blind obedience. Stoicism says, detach, not to kill emotion, but to stop being controlled. A Ronin doesn't let desire twist the blade offline. You can want, just don't let wanting become the noose. And when desire quiets, flow state opens, because your mind is no longer pulled like a puppet. Principle 6, do not regret what you have done. Regret is blood flowing backward. It saves no one. Regret is self-torture with a past you can't edit. You sit there chewing your mistake like bone, thinking that's growth. It's not. Growth is learning and changing tactics. Musashi gives you a scalpel, shadow work. Face your darkness, greed, fear, ignorance, rage. Then ruthless cutting, cut the old habits that produced the mistake. Regret matters only when it becomes data. Say, I was wrong. Then, I learned. Then, I moved differently. A samurai doesn't apologize with tears. He apologizes with discipline. The past is a battlefield already closed. Don't die in it. Take the lesson out of the corpse. Regret makes you feel like you're paying the price, but often you're just delaying change. Some people regret for 3 years and refuse to fix for 3 days. They sit in the past like a room full of corpses and call it responsibility. Musashi doesn't need you to punish yourself. He needs you to turn mistakes into weapons. Shadow work. Name the darkness that created the failure. Greed, fear, laziness, pride, name it. Then ruthless cutting. Cut the habits that feed it. Example, if you failed because you procrastinated, discipline is your apology. If you hurt someone because of ego, changed behavior is your apology. A samurai doesn't apologize with pretty words. He apologizes with a new life. Principle 7, never be jealous. When you stare into another bowl, you starve your soul. Jealousy is slow suicide, not of the body, of focus, of flow state, because your mind gets ripped in half by comparison. You see them winning, richer, loved, and forget. You don't know what they paid. Musashi was a Ronin. He didn't run the crowd's race. When you follow the crowd, you die like the crowd. Jealousy is proof you've abandoned your path. Return to agency. What do I do today to move 1%? You don't need to beat them. Beat yesterday's you. That's Bushido for modern life. Less talking, more training. One day you won't look sideways because you'll be too busy becoming yourself. Jealousy often wears the mask of motivation, but it's poison. You see someone succeed and your chest heats up. You say, I just want to improve. But inside is the voice, why not me? And flow state dies because your mind splits, half working, half comparing. Want the cure? Move like a Ronin. Set a rule. No comparison during training. When you train, it's only you and the work. No social media. No sideways glances. No judgment. Need proof? The truly skilled rarely brag, because they're busy. Busy refining. Busy repeating. Busy raising the standard. Bushido in modern life isn't a slogan. It's a habit. Less talking, more training, and one day you stop envying, because you're too busy becoming. The first 7 principles weren't meant to comfort you. They were meant to wake you up. Accept reality. Cut cheap pleasure, don't let emotion drive the blade. Shrink the ego. Detach from desire. Stop dying in regret. And don't rot in jealousy. If this made you uncomfortable, good. The part of you that wants to stay asleep is being dragged into the light. But this is only the beginning. In video 2, Dokkodo goes deeper into what most people fear the most: separation, solitude, and how you keep moving when everything leaves you. We'll destroy complaint, protect agency through silence, and cut the invisible strings that pull you like a puppet. If you're choosing the way of the warrior, hit like so the algorithm knows you're not here for comfort. And subscribe so you don't miss video 2. Because when you follow the crowd, you die like the crowd. But when you walk alone, you earn the chance to live like a Ronin. See you in the next one.